That's the sound of the coffee pouring. Welcome to the Doctor's Brew. I'm your host, Dr. Abdelaziz Al Khayyat, and having coffee with us today, but not having coffee with us today, is Dr. Amnah Almutawa.
أهلا عزيز.
Welcome. Just to clarify why we don't have our coffee with us today for our viewers is because, of course, it's Ramadan, and today we're recording before Futur, so we apologize for the lack of coffee, although it is missed. So today's topic of discussion is going to be about an area of medicine I do not come in regular contact with at the hospital. It deals with the one part of the body that we hardly discuss in medical school, I'll be honest. You might have guessed it by now. Today we will be talking about dentistry, specifically focusing on career building in dentistry and Dr. Amna's experience. And before we dive into things, I want to just give a quick shout out to our coffee partners for this episode. It's Earth Roastery. I promise you their coffee is amazing.
I'm going to try them after Futur.
Yes. They're in Bida. And actually, not a lot of people know that they have an app and they have an online store.
Nice.
So you can be able to brew your coffee at home like we have here in our Mocha Master. You know, you need to get your beans from somewhere. And we want that place to be Earth Roastery. So for a discount, Earth Roastery has given Doctor's Brew viewers a discount if they just use the discount code Brew15, capital D, capital B, and it's going to be shown on this, the screen if you're watching this on YouTube. And let's dive right in. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Now, before we get into the career building side, we'd like to know a little bit more about you, kind of your background. So go ahead.
My name is Dr. Amnah Almutawa. I'm an orthodontist. I graduated undergrad University of Malta. I did my postgrad King's College London, and I got my M.Orth from the Royal College of Surgeons. I work in Amiri Hospital, and I also work in the private sector, Asnan Tower. I've been a dentist for 10 years, orthodontist 6, been with Asnan for 3 years.
Awesome.
Yes.
And I apologize for my next question. What is the difference between a dentist and orthodontist?
No, it's like there's the dentist, and then there's a speciality, which is orthodontics, and there's many more. One of them is orthodontics, basically is braces, aligning your teeth and putting them in the right place.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're more related with the the braces and...
Yeah, braces.
So is the difference kind of, it's more surgical, being an orthodontist, or not necessarily?
No, not necessarily. No. It's just a speciality coming out of the dental branch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so why being an orthodontist? Why being a dentist? What's the story?
A long story, Aziz. I never wanted to be a dentist. I never wanted to go into medicine or dentistry, actually.
Okay.
I was more into arts, history. Yeah, that's what I like to do and wanted to do.
Okay.
But coming from my family background, and also, continuing studies at the time, not same as like nowadays, where you can be good at, like, you can actually make money out of anything you're good at. At my time, it was like either to be a teacher or a lawyer or an engineer or go into the medical field. And my mom is a dentist.
Okay.
Still, I wasn't inspired in any way to be a dentist.
So the genes weren't there?
No. I didn't want to be a dentist.
Okay.
But then I was like convinced that dentistry would be good for me because it was art, science, and skills. And I was good with my hands because I used to paint a lot and draw a lot. I was really good. Not good anymore. Anyway.
Really?
And then I was like, okay, you know what? I'll go into dentistry.
Okay.
I hated dentistry. I was good at it.
You're shocking me a little bit right now. Because, mashallah, you're so successful and, you're very active. I was expecting, I came out with a toothbrush in my hand. I was born with a toothbrush and flossing.
No, not at all.
Okay.
So I went into dentistry and I was like, I'm good at it. But I didn't like it until I went into third year, where you start practicing and going to clinic.
Okay.
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
get start
that
getting
makes a huge difference.
and start getting familiar with the specialities in the dental field.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like any of them, but I liked ortho. I liked ortho because to me it was actually arts. It was like putting everything into the right place, like from such an disorganized position to.
But why? I'm trying to, frame myself here. How does it relate the arts and ortho? For me, ortho is bone doctors, the orthopedic surgeons.
Orthodontics, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like becoming. It's like having a mouth with not such a pretty smile, and then just planning out how to put everything in the right place, and it takes time and effort and science to actually do it, and then you end up with such a beautiful smile.
So the art is in bringing out the beauty of the smile.
Yeah. So that's then I was like, okay, if I'm gonna continue in this field, I'm gonna be an orthodontist. So I did finish dentistry. I still hated dentistry. I did.
So you pushed through.
I pushed through.
Okay.
I came back and I knew I worked for 2 years with Kuwait, and then I knew I was like, no, if I'm gonna actually continue doing what I'm doing, I need to specialize.
Okay.
Because I wasn't happy just being a dentist.
Right.
I didn't find myself in dentistry.
Right.
Quite the opposite when I got into orthodontics. From day one of school, alhamdulillah, till today, I wake up every day like thankful and blessed to be doing what I'm doing.
Well, that's an amazing thing because I'd say for at least people like me, the junior doctors, one of our anxieties is in picking a specialty, and if we're gonna pick that specialty, what if we're wrong? Because then we're locked in.
You can start all over. You think you're locked in? I don't think so.
That's I mean that's encouraging.
Yeah, I'm very blessed to actually have found what I like to do. But I'm like, if I don't find it, I'm gonna keep trying.
Right.
I'm not gonna be locked in. Wake up every day.
Upset.
No. And alhamdulillah, I woke up every day just thinking I'm so excited to see my patients, my cases, challenges. لا, I accept everything that comes my way with full happiness, encouragement to love الصراحة every single day.
That's amazing. And now I wanna hear about what your day looks like, but just to know your background here. So we started Malta, right? And then you came and worked in Kuwait for 2 years?
Yeah.
And then Kings?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, Malta. This is, I don't think I have never met a graduate from Malta.
No, في وايد medics from Malta.
I know, they're running away from me. they heard about me and they don't like me.
I beg to differ, but Malta, my journey into dental school was not something I was convinced with الصراحة. I did really well in high school. With the options that I were given, I thought dentistry was the closest.
Okay.
Out of the rest, medicine, engineering, being a teacher.
So it's the closest to what, in terms of, let's say, the options that
what
were
I was passionate about. Options available. I was into art, and when they told me dentistry was art, skill, and science.
Yeah.
Skills, I was really good. I'm really good. To details, holding a brush, painting, putting everything in the right place, very patient. I'm really good.
I'm the exact
Science.
opposite. I'm the exact opposite.
Science, I'm good with sciences. Art, I'm really good. I was like, okay, خلاص, let me try dentistry.
Yeah.
And then when I went to apply for a scholarship, I really thought getting out of Kuwait, what I wanted was something like US, maybe London, مو Malta. مو Malta, really. I'm like an island. An island smaller than Kuwait, من صدقكم. My mom was like, put Malta the first option, and I was like, okay, I'll put it first option. I'm sure many people did way better than me. And I won't be accepted in Malta as a first option. I'll probably go to the US or UK. Surprisingly, I got accepted in Malta. I wanted to change, honestly. I really wanted to change, but they told me, خلاص, you got accepted.
Yeah.
Do well your foundation year, and then you can reapply anywhere else, and you can relocate. I did well. My foundation, I was on top of my class.
Wow.
And actually, when you go to University of Malta, it's like actually I got accepted. You get accepted as medicine or pharmacy or dentistry, but when you actually go, you have to do your foundation, and then you have to reapply.
Okay.
And and
Yeah, we had to do the same.
yeah, and it's very competitive because there were 6 chairs for dentistry, and you had to score the highest to get into dental school.
And how many of you? Was it just for 6 chairs for Kuwaitis?
6 in general, 2 for foreigners.
Oh no!
So imagine, like in my year, there were 3 people who had gone into for dentistry, but we had to reapply, and only 2 got in.
Wow.
Hey.
Wow.
But there's like 80 chairs for medicine.
Okay.
And there's like something similar for pharmacy.
Okay.
So it was very competitive.
Okay.
So I did really well at my foundation, and I got into dental school. I wanted to reapply, but I think I got too comfortable. I was like, I was doing well. I started making friends. It was safe, small but safe.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know if this is a good thing, but all I could think of was, you know what, I'm here for school. I didn't think of all the other experiences. خلاص, I don't want to do anything. I want to be a dentist, do good, graduate, go home. That's not necessarily a good thing. Okay. فخلاص I continued dentistry. I did really well until I graduated in 2013.
So it came naturally to you?
Hey, naturally. I did really well. I didn't like it though. But like I told you previously, when I got into 3rd year, I was like, if I'm going to continue, I want to be I knew I had to specialize as an orthodontist.
How did it feel though? It must have been, uncomfortable to not enjoy,
I wouldn't necessarily say uncomfortable, but it wasn't like, I want to put it in proper words. I knew I had to continue a journey. I knew it didn't end at just 6th year dentistry. I knew I had to reapply, I had to do my exams, and I had to get into orthodontics to be
had more to go.
Yeah, I know I had to. It's like I went into dental school thinking it was 6 years, but then when I knew I wanted to do orthodontics, I'm like, la, it's going to be 11. I think it wasn't uncomfortable as much as there was also excitement. خلاص I'm going to بكمل الjourney. I'm going to continue the journey because I really know what I want to do. Well, I really wanted to be an orthodontist. Not like, maybe this is the...
Yeah.
It was something I wanted. Quite the opposite to dentistry.
And what would you advise to people that might have been in your situation? Because I remember there was a time in med school for me where I doubted everything. I thought to myself, was this the right decision? I don't know if, And I was like, I'll just continue, But what about for the young dental students out there who are questioning everything? They're not enjoying. What would you say to them?
Seriously, find something that you like. Especially nowadays, if you have a passion for anything, the money will come, the success will come. Just doing something because your parents want you to do it, because this is what the culture imposes on you, or what you think will bring you success.
Not the way to go.
Won't. I really think you should choose to do something that you're excited about every single morning. Wallah, no matter what it is. حتى الحين, when I think about it, education, getting degrees, going abroad. If you don't have the passion for it,
what's the point?
Don't do it. Follow your passion, especially now. You can be anything you are passionate about and be successful. And success and money and fame and happiness will follow. Yeah.
I really like that. Yeah. And this is an extreme question. Do you think that someone who's not, let's say they're not happy with dental school?
Yeah. Start over.
Would you advise for them to even drop out?
Yeah. Come on, how many lives do we have?
Yeah.
1. Are you going to struggle every morning?
Yeah. Absolutely.
When I went to dental school before finding orthodontics, I really seriously thought if I was going to continue this and get the degree and I'm not happy about it, I was going to put the degree in a cabinet, hang it on a wall, whatever, and then find my own way, something related to arts.
Right. Okay.
Alhamdulillah, I found orthodontics.
Alhamdulillah. That's really great advice. And now, if we were to go back to also high school, do you think now, after going through dental school and specializing, looking back, there are certain traits in a person where you would say, you should be a dentist or you should be go into orthodontics, or you shouldn't? Are there certain traits that you would say for a young individual, or not necessarily?
Yeah, if going to like I think you can relate. If you want to go into dental or medical school, it's not only like you have to have certain skills, consistency, persistence.
You have to like studying.
You have to like studying or willing to study. مو necessarily liking to study. ف ولازم يكون في passion, في ميول حق certain subjects like sciences. Like you won't want to go into medical school until your passion is into business or accountant or social studies, you know. Well, I think also kids or مثلا people in high school nowadays should be guided more than pressured. guided مثلا we see certain traits in you which will work in a certain speciality, but being pushed
into something
لا.
no, it's
وبعدين ليش الرش؟ أنا واحدة من الناس وايد rushed.
What do you mean?
يعني خلصت high school with good grades، بعدين خلاص لازم على طول university، بعدين عقب university لازم على طول أكمل my masters و PhD، وعقب ما خلصت when I came back I'm like يلا متى بتداومين؟ بداوم باكر.
Okay.
If I had to go back يعني I would slow down. ليش ما أخذت gap year سويت فيها art مثلا؟
Well, you know, a lot of people have told me gap years were amazing for them.
ليش? Why didn't they do that?
True, yeah.
يعني
I sometimes look back myself. For me, one thing that I didn't like about being in the UK, the UK system, is that like to go before you go into med school, you just do foundation. But it's similar to what you described for dental school. But in the US, for example, you have to do a whole undergrad degree. So you learn about art, you learn about philosophy, writing, math. You know, I used to be top of my class in math. I was amazing. Now, oof. And I don't like that.
It's when it comes to British and American system, there's no preference to me. يعني كل واحد فيه البروز والcons.
Yeah.
يعني I come from an English system, British system.
British.
British are very like يعني they have their routine, في consistency, في standard, في policy, في regulations. But they're not rounded.
Yeah.
يعني you don't find إن مثلا they don't bring the arts in you, the sports in you, the creativity in you. يعني خلاص it's just good grades وخلاص.
Yeah.
What I liked about the American system يعني حتى أيام اللي أنا كنت فيها بhigh school, they're more rounded. يعني they bring the creativity in you.
Yeah.
يعني أنا I did art because I was like يعني supported by my family, but did I find it in school support bring out the creativity in me? لا, I didn't coming from a British system.
Okay.
بس ما شاء الله الأمريكان system
it brings it definitely.
Like يعني sports يعني I didn't find out that I like sport لما رحت الجامعة. When I went to university I was like although at certain points in high school, my parents were told that I had a physique or I could be good at sports.
Right.
But I didn't think I did.
Right.
Until I went to university, I'm like, so you can be good at sciences and also play sports.
Right.
Okay, you can be a medical student and also do art.
Yeah.
And you can be more rounded.
صح.
When coming from British school, I thought, لا خلاص, it's just science.
You do one thing.
Hey. So yeah.
I think it's very important to stay well-rounded.
Yeah.
And the reason why I learned it actually in university when for us we have to do a lot of research. I don't know what's the prerequisites or whatnot in dental school, but in medicine you do need to do a lot of research, even during medical school. And some of my colleagues struggled, and I actually did a research course when I was in high school. Because I was part of the American system. Yeah.
Hey.
Writing, all of that came natural. This was easy, you know? It was so easy to me that I even felt like I critiqued other people the way that they were, you know, doing it. And that's when I looked back and I said, it's so important to stay well-rounded, you know? Now, coming back to your career. So we've talked about the journey to Malta. By the way, how was the weather there?
Amazing.
Really?
Amazing.
Yeah.
يعني sun throughout the whole year. Very chill. يعني best beaches, diving spots. حلوة. Malta's beautiful.
Wow.
يعني I regretted at the beginning. I'm like, no, I could do well here.
Yeah. I can't relate.
I know what you mean. Then
Yeah.
when I continued my postgrad program in London,
Mm-hmm.
it was great.
Yeah.
Eh,
It's very great.
I was not. I liked the course, but I didn't like the. I liked the course. I liked the experience. I'm very grateful. I would do it all over again. But the weather.
The weather was not. No, it was not 10 out of 10.
La, la.
So talking a little bit about that experience going to London, was there a motivating factor why you went to London in specific?
Yes.
Okay.
There was a group before me who had graduated from University of Malta
Mm-hmm.
and went to continue ortho in King's College.
Right.
And they surprisingly did really well
What do you mean?
in the program. They're like the top of the class, those University
Okay.
of Malta graduates.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, so I think if I went, I'd just do as good.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I did.
So you're following in their footsteps.
Footsteps, yeah. And I did, and I'm happy I did. I did really well. The program was good.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the only reason. I put all my eggs in one basket, actually. When I applied,
Mm.
I knew I wanted to go to this country, to this university, and nowhere else.
Right.
Alhamdulillah.
And was there a reason why maybe the UK over somewhere else? As a country, not just as a program.
Maybe I thought US was too far. I didn't want to do
Yeah.
US. I wanted, at this point, I wanted more stability. I wanted to
Yeah.
go back and forth more
Right.
easily.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So you that was when you were you're out of dental school and you're 2 years practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely want some more
Yeah, I
stability. at that
wanted more
point.
stability, somewhere close. If لا خلاص US was no longer an option for me. Maybe as an undergrad.
Yeah.
Then I was gonna stay for a while. But لا خلاص postgrad I wanted something easier.
Right.
Also, I was like very fascinated then with Europe. To be
Okay.
able to go around and travel easily. Yeah, I traveled quite a lot
Yeah.
during postgrad.
Yeah, it's amazing when you're like there was a lot of times I'd take a weekend and just be in Amsterdam, be
Exactly.
Paris, wherever. Yeah.
Exactly.
And it was only an hour away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just getting around was easy. Knowing the course was gonna be good. Knowing what to expect. Yeah, it was a good choice for me.
And now, so you talked about how all you wanted to do is to go into being an orthodontist,
Yeah.
right? Did you have any other goals,
But
career-wise?
No.
And then when you came back, how did you find yourself? Because, yani, mashallah, obviously you're very active. How did you find yourself doing all these things?
I knew when I went into orthodontics that I wanted to be part of a good clinic. I didn't know back then it was going to be Asnan. Alhamdulillah, I'm very blessed. But I knew I wanted... First of all, orthodontics, other than the art and the skill part, I knew I could do A to Z on my own.
Okay.
It's like I didn't need a full team. Like I would work on a patient A to Z and get the result without having someone else with me. So that was nice, knowing وانا شوي very picky, I like very protective of my patients, I like to know what's
nice.
happening and take care of every step.
Yeah.
But this was something good for me. Also, I knew I wanted to be part of a good team. يعني private sector, definitely. Private sector because I knew I wanted to enjoy orthodontics. I didn't want to be limited.
Okay.
Coming back working in government, I'm very thankful for government. يعني, there's good cases, complex cases, good exposure. And also, you get to help people who are like, يعني, who won't be able to afford to pay for orthodontics. For orthodontics, the private sector. And also the most challenging cases do come to government.
Right.
So I'm very blessed.
Okay.
But I also knew I wanted to enjoy orthodontics. There's a lot of things we can't apply and do with government.
Okay.
And that was one of the reasons that pushed me into the private sector.
So can you expand for us a little bit, like what's the difference in Kuwait, career-wise, working?
يعني we have, first of all, with government we were limited hours. I knew I could give more.
Right.
I knew I wanted to do orthodontics more. So just working one shift and limited hours per week, I found I had more to offer. This was the true feeling. يعني, I was like, I wish I had more time. I wish I had more exposure. I wish I had more patience.
So that's interesting. So you can't work more
No. We have limited shifts.
Why?
Just the way it is system.
Right.
ف...
Sorry, for me, it's in my head.
It's very different than
yeah,
you guys.
Yeah, my head is like, what?
Yeah, it's
You're
very
not
different.
working 24 hours?
No, we're not working 24 hours. No. احنا بالgovernment sector, when you specialize, it's only morning sessions.
Okay.
No PM shifts. And, well, we can start 7:30 to 1:30.
Right.
And that's it. And weekends off.
Okay.
So it's a very nice schedule.
Relaxed.
Very relaxed.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
Yep.
But I honestly felt I needed to do more. I needed to see more. I had so much to offer. This was not enough for me. I wasn't satisfied.
Why?
Like, I felt I needed to grasp more and give more. It was that, that was just a feeling. Leaving 1:30 and like until tomorrow the next shift wasn't like I don't want to complain, but it wasn't doing it for me. Also, my field, there's so much new technologies and equipment and stuff we don't have in the government sector. We're limited, mostly conventional. I wanted to try out I mean, like, I studied ortho.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've had an 11-year journey. Come on, there must be more.
Yeah.
That's where I decided, خلاص, I'm going to leave, I'm going to try the private sector.
Yeah.
Hey, you get to enjoy orthodontics but private sector.
And now, so from the perspective of a dentist, or I'm putting myself as I'm a newly graduated dentist. When I'm thinking about government work, more relaxed life, but if I really want to expand out, private.
Hey.
Now, let's shift, and I'm the patient.
Hey.
And I've wondered this. So what's the difference right now that I come and see you in the government, okay, or I see you in your private practice? For me as a patient.
Yeah, for you.
Because it's the same
Hey, it's the same. We have limited hours of government. The list can be long.
Okay.
Appointment can be a bit far. Duration between appointments can be lengthy a bit.
Right.
And also with limited resources.
Okay.
We can have the same case, but with different resources, latest technology, they can be treated in a shorter period of time, have greater results. Maybe cost can be a bit higher too.
Yeah, okay.
Also, in government, I'm limited to one clinic. One nurse.
Right.
So I can see a patient I can't see more than one patient.
Right.
Per whatever minutes.
Yeah.
But private sector, I have a whole team. I have my 3 nurses, Reg, Tin, and Irene. I love you so much. And I have 3 clinics.
Okay.
And turnover is high. I get to see more patients,
Right.
so the appointments with patients are less. Appointments aren't that far, and also, with resources, you have the latest technology, the latest equipment, so you can.
Yeah, I actually wanted to touch up on that because I do know that sometimes. So on ward rounds the other day, we were chatting about new medicines available. And then one person said, I saw a study of this new pill that came out for X reason, and it's revolutionary in this way. And she went, and I know it's going to be a million years before it gets to quit. Is that the same experience kind of with dentistry and for, technology and for some of the latest developments?
We have them. But mobile government.
But private, it's available.
Yes, it's available.
Okay, yeah. But do you guys get limited by for example, like by laws, regulations of bringing these technologies into
government?
Yeah, no, into private as well.
Private?
Yeah.
No.
Not too many issues. Okay.
No, private, no. Government, I'm not so sure about. Yeah, and it's a whole different system.
Okay. And so, what are some of the? Tell me a little bit about that.
Also, these latest technology, they cost. For many patients, when a patient comes into clinic, and when they come into government, they know they're going to be treated for free.
Right.
It's very different. When they come into the private sector, the patient is willing to pay for those resources. For us, maybe, I don't know if you've heard about it, Invisalign.
Yeah.
Clear aligners. I'm in love with them. But we don't find them in government because they cost. The lab fees alone cost a lot of money.
Okay.
And the patient has to pay for the lab fees.
And is there a certain psychology to the patients that is different? Because I'll tell you, like, for example, like in the government sector, I don't know about private.
Why do you want to get me in trouble?
I mean,
Hey.
I'll start.
Like, you start and then I'll...
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
definitely, and this is natural human disposition. There is a degree of entitlement. We've talked about this on the podcast.
Yes.
In the for us, you know, we see it all the time where patients will come in and they'll say, right, this is free. I want this scan. And you're like, well, this is not indicated. Or, you know. So I'm just wondering for dentistry, like, because the things that you guys do for your patients is a different... it's different than medicine, you know? I feel like your patients want you more than us, you know? I don't think, like,
in my specialty, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my specialty...
But what about as a dentist?
As a dentist? Madly, you know, my experience with dentistry is, like, very short.
Right.
Yani, let me tell you what happened. We missed this part. When I graduated dentistry, I hated dentistry. I did my first year orientation, you know, where you just get to relocate from one hospital to another and lectures and trying to find a specialty you like. So it wasn't right. I didn't really actually practice dentistry the first year. And then I was like, oh my God, I don't like this. But then you have to do 2 years of general dentistry before continuing as your specialty. That's a recommendation from Kuwait and universities abroad. So when I finished my first year of orientation, I'm like, oh my God, I have another year and I don't see myself doing dentistry. So I went to the Kuwaiti board.
Of
Kuwaiti board.
Orthodontics.
No, there's no orthodontics, just general dentistry.
Oh, okay.
Because I just wanted to do anything but practice dentistry.
But practice, okay.
I was willing to go to school, do exams.
Oh wow, that means you really don't like it. yeah, to say I want to practice study, I mean, instead of it, wow, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so now I know I can't apply for orthodontics anywhere. And I know I don't like dentistry. I don't want to practice dentistry. I finished my first year of orientation. I have another year. What am I going to do? I'm like, and they were like, yeah, you can go to the Kuwaiti board. I'm like, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I finished my orientation. I didn't practice a day of dentistry. I went into Kuwaiti board, and I got accepted into my orthodontics program a day before my Kuwaiti board exam.
Okay.
And my Kuwaiti board exam was tomorrow, and then I got an email, hey, Dr. Amnah, you got accepted into ortho. I'm like,
oh, that's great.
Hey, I didn't practice dentistry.
No need for dentistry. Bye-bye dentistry.
I did not practice dentistry.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay, so let me rephrase my question. In orthodontics, when you're working in the public hospital.
Whoops.
Yep. That just
put it back?
Yep, there.
Oh, good.
It's back. Okay.
Sorry.
Back on track. So, when you're working in the government sector, how are the patients in terms of the ones you get in private versus public?
والله يعني there's a good mix. But a sense of entitlement more in the government sector.
Yeah, I mean, it's something
also,
to bear in
mind.
mind.
Also, I don't know how your patients get assigned to you. For example, let me tell you the difference. In government, there's like a clinic who screens all the patients who are actually eligible for treatment or not.
Right.
And it's really nice, actually, the way they screen them. The patients we actually treat in my specialty are the patients who actually need treatment.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like they need functional help. Patients.
So it's not cosmetic.
Not cosmetic, no, which is something I really like. And that's why I tell you, when it comes to the government sector, I like the amount of exposure we have. Like, there's good exposure, difficult cases, challenging cases. You can learn a lot. And I'm very thankful for the government part. So, and then after they're screened, they're assigned to you. So they don't necessarily know who you are.
Right.
Okay, so... But the private sector is different. Yani the patient has done his research, has talked to other patients, has seen your Instagram account, and actually comes to Dr. Amnah. يعني خلاص
Yeah.
هو مسوي research. He's not really assigned.
They want you
They
specifically.
want me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
يعني
Okay.
it's very different. Or I've treated a sibling of government, and then the other sibling is not eligible for treatment.
Right.
And then the whole family ends up coming to me in private. But it's very, very different.
I heard a similar thing for psychiatry in terms of the breakdown, because in psychiatry sometimes you'll see in the government, I heard that, well, I've seen in the government, you see a lot of acute psychiatric issues, psychosis, people who are, kind of end of the line in treatment. But then private, you might see some of the milder forms, like mild to moderate depression, anxiety, and the patients want you more in the private.
صح.
I mean, this is something to bear in mind with career building, because I know, at least for me, when I'm trying to think, what is my future life, I'm trying to organize, what do I want to see? And so I'm glad you're bringing this up here on the podcast, because we have a surprising amount of dentists who follow the podcast, and a lot of them also, I know there's a few people who are watching who are young, and they're trying to think, what is my career going to look like in Kuwait, and how I build my practice, where do I want to go? And so the psychology of things really does matter. Now, I want to talk a little bit about career building for you. So how would you describe career building as a dentist in Kuwait compared to maybe outside or other places?
It's very different. يعني I'm not going to talk about Malta, I'm going to talk about London. It comes down to word of mouth.
Okay.
يعني you're good at what you're doing, word of mouth, treated a sibling, a family member, a friend, and then people come to you. هني it's different. Social media.
Oh, so the word of mouth is more in the UK. Okay.
It's still a big thing here, but هني there's a lot of factors. هني يعني connection is a big thing. Who you know, who you've worked with, هذا number one. Number two, social media. Social media is a big thing. يعني I struggled in the beginning. Like, خلاص, I'm a good doctor. I've treated I don't know how many patients, word of mouth, and more come my way. It works, but word of mouth is the best thing. But social media has a big impact.
So social media, you'd say, is king.
يعني no, word of mouth is king, but social media is also a big thing. يعني especially بالكويت. Social media is
True.
It has a great influence on the clients, the patients, whatever you want to call them, For me, going into social media was a struggle بالبداية.
How come? You seem so natural at it. I've seen your Instagram. It's amazing. It seems like this is second nature to you. Actually, it's because I just started my public social media page. I was looking at yours for inspiration. I was studying tips.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't know I had it in me صراحة. بس يعني it's so. Yeah, Mari, we're not trained as doctors to come and give a tip of social media.
No, absolutely. Absolutely not. In fact, it's one of the farthest things from what we're doing.
Exactly. Or take a photo before and after and put it out there for people to see. I'm like, what are you saying? What are you talking about?
Right.
Also photography. I went through a lot of courses to be able to get to the level where I am at.
Wait, hold on. You took photography courses to help your wow,
of course. Yeah, of course. Have you seen my photos? They don't come without.
Yeah, I know. That's what I noticed. I was like, what do you mean it doesn't come naturally to you?
I did a lot of courses from social media. يعني is a big thing. I had to work on a lot to get to where I am today. And if it's done right, it should be okay. هذا one. Martin, also يعني when you graduate and come to Kuwait, how do I put this in good words? That's why I have to be very careful. يعني for sure as an individual, you need to put that extra effort, to.
What do you mean?
يعني if your goal is to work in a private sector or with a good team or have your own clinic, the thought of just graduating and going into government does not cut it. يعني
as into enter private
or having your own clinic or building your own reputation, just being in government and working within the government sector.
It's not going to do it. Okay.
It's definitely not enough. It depends what your goal is. إيه. يعني أنا when I went into government, it's a laid back system, good hours, good pay. I'm gonna try to put this in good words. I'm very thankful for it. Good exposure, but I wanted more.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be, يعني, I want it to sound right, like a brand on my own. Amnah المطوع.
You wanted to build something.
اي يعني Amnah المطوع.
Yeah.
Yeah, wherever I'm put, it's Amnah المطوع. It's not connected to a private clinic or a certain مثلا.
It's
or
you.
It's me. So I knew I had to continue education, especially when it comes to latest technology. Being just within the government sector was not going to cut it, so I had to do extra courses, be part of lectures, يعني work on myself. And it takes time and money. هذا واحد. Yeah.
Oh, that you know, that's an interesting point you bring up. It takes time and money.
إيه. فيعني إيه بس no regrets. No regrets at all. Number two, يعني you have to work on yourself من ناحية social media, من ناحية being connected to other people, other dentists, other people in your community. هذا number two. إيه فيعني you really have to work on yourself.
It sounds to me that there's more marketing that needs to be done here.
في wide marketing, but if you do it right, it's not necessarily wrong يعني.
Yeah. But you know, one thing I'm wondering is that do you think that this is a sustainable thing? The way that because by the way, this is very similar medicine. When you're driving on the freeways, all you see is billboards
banners,
of
billboards,
people, you know, and they all have the same. I'm ashamed of this. I did take the same photo of the with the. You know the what is it, the lab coat and
لا مليقة no don't please.
That's currently my profile picture. So.
لا don't change it. Be the laid back
doctor. But what I'm getting at is this sustainable what we're doing? Is this a good way that we're heading towards? Because it seems more that you know, of course you're very educated and you're very successful and you know. But what I want to imagine is that let's imagine there's two of you, one that's on social media, one that's not. And I think for the benefit of people, both should be able to serve the same people, to be in the same, you know? So do you think that this is sustainable, what we're doing?
For me in the long run?
No, I mean for people, for the career, for the whole
for
thing.
Me, ما أدري. For me, it's not going to be sustainable.
Oh, okay.
يعني خلاص, the way I think of it, يعني يصير في timeline.
Okay.
يعني I'm not because I graduated, I worked on myself, built a brand. خلاص يعني I don't want to do this when I'm 40. يعني
because it is exhausting.
or 45. But at some point you need to do it. You need to put yourself out there.
Do you think everybody needs to do this?
Depends what your goal is. Not everybody needs to do it. What is your goal?
So who needs to do it? What goals would merit this?
I want Dr. Amnah Almutawa to be a brand. To be a brand doesn't mean staying in your clinic and just being assigned patients and doing the patient and that's it and being limited to the hours. No. Right. If I wanted to build my name as a brand, that means extra hours, extra effort, missing out on some fun, and being on social media. Even I learned it all. It's not natural. Wallah, I learned.
No, it's not.
I learned it all. Being on social media, being on camera, taking the photos, being حتى العربي, even Arabic مالي يعني now it's good, but I had to relearn the correct way to say the words, trying to reach out to the clients, proper information, right information, a setup. كلها you have to.
This is extremely, you know, like this is inspiring for me in a way.
Comes with time, يعني. You come to continuous failures and you learn from those failures. فإيه يعني الحين لما أنا for example, let's say the latest video I did.
Yeah.
He comes in 10 minutes, I'm done, like the second shot. خلاص. The first time I did a video, الله يذكرك بالخير نور القبندي. Hey, we would stay for hours.
I told you about episode 1 how much of a disaster it was.
It's the lighting, or is it the echo, or is it the wrong mic, or oh my god, I missed the information, or the phrase I
Sorry,
didn't
you're giving me
say.
flashbacks. You're giving me flashbacks.
صح؟
That's bad.
بس يعني without كل هالfailures and beginnings, you wouldn't be where you are today. I'm still learning. I'm still learning. لما طالع my business, I'm like, oh my god, I've come so far, you know. There's fun in it too.
Yeah, I mean, it is fun and it's challenging. يعني as someone who's now a novice entering this world, I remember when I was mentioning, you know, kind of the podcast, my ideas. One of my producer, he literally looked at me and he was like, "This is a requirement for your career." And I remember my dad, Allah yarhamah, he said, when was this? This was like a year and a half, 2 years ago. He just looked at me and he said, "You know, when you graduate, you're gonna have to learn how to market, right?" And that was something that was foreign to me. I thought, I got my degree and I practice. What am I trying to sell? But then you're trying to sell a whole thing if you want that.
If you want that. It depends. Yani people want different things. That's not me.
But okay, I'm gonna say I hope I don't sound mean when I ask this. Not to you, but to our viewers. So I've seen a lot of social media pages for doctors and dentists. For dentists, I already know what I'm going to see. It's going to be x-ray shots of teeth. Okay? 95% look the same. What sets it apart? As someone who's successful in it, what do you think sets it apart social media-wise? Difficult question, right?
Difficult question. But I'm going to go back and say it's not يعني أنت مو social media. It's a part of you. It adds to you. بس it's a difficult question. يعني
because what I'm thinking, what I'm imagining is I'm a new graduate dentist. I want to start making a name for myself in Kuwait. I want to start a social media page.
but you have to think this is the way لازم you know in the social media is an addition.
Okay.
It's not the main thing. The main thing is word of mouth.
So being active in the community.
Being active and connected is the main thing. Social media is a must, but it's not the only thing. Don't rely on it, and it's an addition. يعني let's say خلينا نقول as a daily occurring scenario عندي بالعيادة. They would come in and they'd be like, we've heard of you. You've treated a relative. We love the results. بعدين they come down to, and then we saw your social media. But rarely do I have somebody come in and say, because of social media.
That's interesting. Okay.
Rarely يعني because لأن يصير فيني أنا the question that pops in my head يعني إحنا we put the best out there and we choose what we to put out there صح فيعني حتى I question مثلا is that it? Social media? لا, I need more than that.
Definitely.
I need more than that. Like, have you spoken to anyone? Have you seen my actual cases? Were you referred by a friend, a relative? La يعني. But rarely do I have somebody come in and just say because of social media. لا, it's an addition.
It's not everything.
Not everything.
Okay.
Well, most of the time they come in, they haven't seen my social media. We like
really.
They haven't seen. Yeah. They come in, they like we've heard of you, retreated somebody. We'd like to have a consult. وبعدين they go through my social media. But it's always an addition. It's not the main thing.
Okay. But it's something definitely that someone needs to bear.
I think so. إحنا خلاص 2023 يعني. If you wanted to look up a doctor, what would you do? أول شيء, first thing you'd do.
Look them up on social media.
Let's not talk doctor. You want to go to a new coffee shop.
Instantly. Instantly.
Hey, a new restaurant. Let's check out the menu.
In fact, if they don't have one, I'll be judging them.
See? If you go to a restaurant, you'd be like, Instagram. Well, before you actually read the menu, you'd be like scrolling. Shouldn't know what are people choosing? What's on the... Just looking. Looking.
That actually put things into context for me, definitely. And it makes more sense now for private. So it seems to me that this is kind of the recipe a little bit for like what separates like, a highly successful, let's say successful, because everybody's successful in their own way.
صح.
I don't want to lump and
it depends
judge.
what you want. And
yes.
you see people who are just comfortable being in what whatever situation they are, and they're successful
Mm.
and whatever they're doing. And then there's us.
Over.
Over. Hey.
And okay, what do you see as the future for Kuwait with orthodontics? What do you see? Where are we heading?
Well, we have a bright future. And we have the largest dental clinic in the world opening soon. Asnan Centum.
Yes, I saw.
Hey.
That's.
Yeah.
Can I just say that's kind of it's amazing. It's random. Who would have thought that in Kuwait is going to be the largest dental center in the world?
Definitely Isa.
Wow. Yeah. Vision.
Mastermind vision. ايه ما شاء الله.
Yeah.
ايه ف لا احنا with healthcare we're good بالكويت.
Healthcare?
Healthcare. You don't think we're good?
You
with
mean
healthcare?
dental care?
You don't think that healthcare?
No,
general?
I think we're good. I
Eh.
think we're good. I think we have a lot of talent in Kuwait.
ايه
The talent I see doctor-wise,
ايه
and I don't want to say dentists because I haven't worked with dentists personally,
Eh.
but of course, if all the dentists are like you, amazing.
I
You
think
know?
احنا both medical و dental.
Amazing.
ايه
But I do think we require a bit of a push in certain areas. You know, like in the hospital, like there's certain organizational things.
I was going to tell
For
you, we
men-
just need a bit of tweaking in the system.
Yes.
It's not about the doctors.
No.
It's not about the doctors.
It's not about
لا.
the doctors. It's not some facilities, but they're improving.
Eh.
For example, they're building new hospitals all the
Eh.
time. Look at Jabr.
ايه ما شاء الله ما شاء الله.
Wow.
ايه.
You know, but just a few organizational
I
changes.
agree 100%. ايه 100%.
Amazing.
صدق. It's just the system. A bit
Yes.
of tweaking in the system.
Yes.
لأن حرام احنا we have so much potential.
Mm.
We're capable.
Mm.
Amazing doctors. We're talented. Why not motivate those talented doctors?
Absolutely.
Why push them away or put them down? Just a bit of tweaking the system and more accepting to change.
Yes.
And more accepting to elevate.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
we would be amazing. لأن
Yeah.
احنا ترى now I don't think our healthcare or dental care is bad. I think it's good.
No, it's good.
I know for sure we can do so much better and we are capable.
صح, because
Okay.
what's the point of the beta?
Yeah.
What's the point of sending people abroad? And so we have a great med school in Kuwait. We have a great dental school in Kuwait.
One
Why
of
do
the
we not
best, one
stay?
of the best, eh?
But why do we not stay? It's because we also, in addition, want to learn outside
صح.
to improve ourselves.
صح.
But then eventually we're going to be the ones that people are sending
صح.
their students to.
صح.
You know.
I agree.
That's what I mean. That I feel like if we just tweak, the talent is there.
Yeah.
Give them the platform to
Yeah.
shine.
Yeah. Why are we afraid of change? I don't get it.
It's scary.
إيه بس you have to.
You have to, but I mean, it's scary. There's certain parts to, at least in my opinion.
Why apply 2000 regulations on a 2023?
I just feel like it's because there's certain things, certain luxuries we will have to give up with change. There are certain things definitely that we'll have to give up. There's gonna be things that are gonna be more difficult, things that are gonna be more annoying as well. You know.
But there's going to be a system.
There is, like, for example, this is a very dumb argument what I'm about to say, but it's true. You know, when you've gone to like polyclinic, بس المستوصف, years ago, you can just how did it work? Did you take a number? Nobody cares about the number. You just walked in.
إيه
They would cut in line, whatever.
صح.
Now it's definitely more organized. But what did we have to give up for that? That luxury of I come in, I push my way to the front.
صح.
Now there's more traffic. It's going to take you more
luxury,
time.
though.
Yeah.
Nice to have more of a system.
I definitely agree.
Hey.
But it's going to take willingness to change and the willingness to learn from others. And you know what I think is one issue we have is I think we need to step out of doctors and dentists to think of our systems. I think, for example, there's healthcare management is a whole degree by itself.
Hey.
I think we need more of their wisdom to learn about management than us. Because, you know, if you think about, did you learn about management and system setting up? No.
Nothing. All I know is we need somebody to manage.
Yeah.
Hey.
We need a manager, you know.
صح.
I think this is, you know, one thing that if we just make this little tweak.
So it's definitely haram. We have the potential.
Yeah.
I agree.
Now, I just have one last question before we end our episode today. Do dentists hate coffee? I feel like it's your biggest enemy.
More. No, we don't. More tea.
Tea.
Tea tends to stain more than coffee. Yes.
Really?
I
that's all I needed to
I
hear.
have no
That's it.
hard feelings against coffee.
Okay. Yeah, because sometimes my anxiety was, am I really bringing on someone who deals with teeth to the doctor's brew? Like, we're your biggest enemy.
La. No, we like coffee, and yeah, we're good. We're good with coffee. Good with coffee. No.
Awesome. Again, thank you so much for having us.
having me.
Thank you for coming on.
For sure. Thank you for having me. Well, it was fun. استانست.
It's been a pleasure. Oh, I hope everybody listening is gonna take something from this. My biggest hope for people listening is someone who is maybe in high school or a newly graduated dentist who just wants a little bit of insight, on what are the steps to come.
Yeah.
So thank you again.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So that's the last sip of coffee for the day. A last special thank you to our guest, and hope everyone tunes in next time.
Thank you, Aziz.
Thank you. Hope you all enjoyed this episode of The Doctor's Brew. New episodes to listen to with a cup of coffee coming your way every Sunday on YouTube and Spotify. And be sure to follow us on Instagram for all the latest updates. See you next time.